Hey, it's Eric G from the Around the House show. Elevate your grilling game with the all-new Monty McGrill's Omni Pro series. The Eminescence 405 is packed with cutting-edge features, blending elegance with expert-level performance. 4 powerful burners plus a side-searing station deliver 60,000 BTUs of precision heat. The Clearview lid lets you keep an eye on your masterpiece without losing heat. Stay in control with the smart Bluetooth app, track your temps, set timers, and get alerts from anywhere. The LED touch panel ensures effortless monitoring, even in bright daylight. Temperature sensing lights keep you grilling anytime, anywhere. This grill is built to last, and it's also backed by a 10-year limited warranty. The Eminescence 405, where power, style, and innovation meet. Check it out and order your new grill at MontyMcGrills.com. That's MontyMcGrills.com.
Welcome to Around the House with Eric G., your go-to source for everything home improvement. Whether you're a DIY enthusiast or just looking to make your space shine, Eric G. is here to guide you through the latest tips, tricks, and trends. Coming up in this week's first hour of the show, Wendy Glaister is back in the studio to talk about lighting secrets for your home.
Have you heard about how men and women experience lighting differently?
Hold on, let me grab my glasses. Yeah.
So my husband has dark eyes and has olive skin and dark curly hair. He's handsome, and I am very blonde and very pale, and I have blue eyes. Every morning he gets up and comes down here in the kitchen. I'm looking at my kitchen, and he turns on every blessed light.
So grab your toolbox, put on your thinking cap, and let's get to work right here on Around the House with Eric G.
Welcome to the Around the House show, the next generation of home improvement. I'm Eric G. Thanks for joining me today. This hour is brought to you by my friends at Monty McGrills. Check out your new barbecue for spring at MontyMcGrills.com. We have my friend back in the studio today. You've listened to this show for a while, Wendy Glaister Interiors, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects, the art that no one sees when you do it correctly. It's called lighting. Welcome back, Wendy.
Thank you so much for having me. Yes, lighting is my favorite too. And I'm so excited to hear all of your perspective on it. And it's so different, don't you think, than it was 10 years ago? And in all the coolest ways that you could imagine. So this is going to be so much fun. Thank you for inviting me for this topic.
This is so much fun. And you can have the most beautiful designed project. And if you skipped lighting class, it doesn't look as great as what it could. And then somebody comes in there and does the lighting right, and it's like it amplifies it 10x.
Oh, yeah. There's no replacement for a really outstanding lighting design. And I'm really fortunate here where I practice in Central Valley in California. We have a family-owned third-generation retail store called Phillips Lighting and Home.
Nice.
And my friend Carrie Arnold is a co-owner with her mom, and she's a lighting designer. And around COVID, we started working together on projects and approaching lighting in a way that I'd never done before. And she's taught me a lot, but I'm certainly no lighting designer. But the things that we've pulled off together, because she's smart, but wow, these things are just incredible. And it's so much fun. And it's almost like clients see this beautiful thing that we put together for the first time. It's like they're watching fireworks. They get so excited and they're so happy and they can't believe how beautiful it is and all the little details. It's a thrilling thing, I think. So
absolutely. I had my sensei of lighting, Al Thomas. He worked for North Coast Lighting up here for years. And he was the guy that when he spoke, I shut up and just listened because I knew that he had forgotten more little details than I was ever going to learn from him because he was just that good and really opened up my eyes to what really good lighting design was. And going into a retail location that's got that lighting lab feel to it, where you can go in and really see the difference between stuff in a practical application. And from then on out, every time I walked into my house, someone else's house, and I saw the 6-inch cans and I just wanted to tear them out of the ceiling and fix it for them.
So I joke with Stephanie and Layla, the two designers that work with me all the time, that there's not enough Botox in the world to help disguise my face when I see a bad lighting plan.
Oh.
Eric, I'm working on this remodel with this client, this couple, and they want to do it themselves.
Oh, no.
I'm just like a advisor.
Yep.
When they get stuck or upset, they call me.
After they made the mistakes.
Never really done anything like this before. I'm sure you've never experienced this. And Stephanie and I walked in one day and I looked up and the guy proudly says to me, "So what do you think of my lighting plan?"
Oh, no.
It was 28 cans in a family room.
Oh.
And
That's
I
ugly.
try so hard because I know people ask you questions and people are excited about their home and all these things. And you don't want to be a stinker or disrespectful. So I try very hard to be diplomatic. I had nothing I could say. So
all you could say was, I guess if that's your first time, that's not so bad. But really, that you're stuck.
And I just said, this is definitely a lighting plan.
Yeah.
And may I ask how you came about this plan? I did it with a professional electrician. He's very seasoned. Okay.
Nice.
Does he work with you in the food, service, and prep industry?
Oh, no.
Yes, he does. Okay. I said, okay, I get it. Yes, for that application, he did super awesome.
This would be great in a gym.
However, you're going to get so anxious sitting under that. It was so hard.
It was lit like a tanning bed.
So we took them all out, and I just thought, that's a bad actor because that electrician knew better than that. And he was just taking advantage of a homeowner who didn't know. Yep. And, these are Halo cans, and they're so great. And they are, but they're also $40 to $80 a whack.
Yeah.
And you just all that labor and all that material, that's mean.
Yeah.
So
you're not taking those cans back. Those are going out in the garage on the shelf someplace.
I couldn't look at Stephanie. I was just like, I know better.
Yeah, I know better. Yeah. And I don't know. I'm going to turn into a lighting snob here, but every design client I've ever worked with, if I walk into that kitchen before the kitchen remodel and they're like, we want to do something right away first to get this better. And then in 2 years, we're going to do that, but you're here for the bathroom. And the first thing I go is, we're not going to have to tear the ceiling up in here. Why don't the drywallers are upstairs doing the bathroom. Let's do the lighting down here.
Yep.
Let's design the kitchen out, how you're going to do it. Let's do the lighting plan down here. Just make this so it looks better.
Exactly.
Tear out all those 6-inch cans. I'd usually put 2-inch, 3-inch, even ones at times, because those can be really sexy if you've got a low ceiling.
Yeah.
And go small. My garage, I got 3-inch cans in it because I wanted to give me the right light in there.
It's fun. I think people think lighting is just turn on a switch and the room is lit. But that isn't really true because for whatever room you're in, there are certain purposes and ways you will use that room. And you want to be sure that the lighting that you have available to you in that room will serve the purposes of the room and what you'll be doing there. And so many times, so cute, Carrie did tell me, and this is nothing against architects because they have to know so many things about so many things.
Yep.
There's like a little standard little lighting sheet that goes through whatever it is that you're doing. There's in every bedroom, there's a fan and 4 little cans.
Yep.
Builder's best.
Yep, exactly.
Carrie, that kid's going to get migraines every day of their life because they're going to have this strobe effect with the fan and the little cans and the...
Yeah.
But if you instead, she taught me, and I'm so grateful for her, just to take the time to explain. Because I know when you're really great at what you do, it is hard to always be mindful that whomever you're speaking to does not know and that they need clear education.
It's like talking to a brain surgeon. It's like, dumb it down for me. What do you got?
Yeah. And she's, Wendy, if we could use directional lighting, you light the wall and it's reflected back into the room. So it's easier for you to receive. It's not this harsh, oppressive light that you get when it's straight down. You're not lighting particulates of a room in the air anymore. You're lighting a surface. It gives you a nice soft effect as it comes across your eyes.
It glows.
In space. Yeah. And then you don't get that strobe, whatever.
Oh my gosh.
And it's so simple, but people don't think about it. And I always have fun. That's the first thing I do is I change all those little things in those rooms to try to help out. We've been doing some cool things lately. And maybe you would want to do this on some of your new builds. There's a designer who works with this incredible lighting designer. She's in the UK and I can't remember his name, the lighting designer. Okay.
Yeah.
But she's Sophie Patterson, and she has beautiful work, and she works all over the world. But she and her lighting designer work together constantly, kind of like Carrie and I do, but we're in the Central Valley in California.
Nice.
We're not in Dubai yet.
No, yet. Yeah.
But there are these gorgeous, tiny 1-inch little recessed cans, but it goes in the foundation.
Nice.
So it shines up out of the floor. So out of your incredible hardwood flooring or out of your concrete or whatever, to highlight all those amazing architectural details. And you don't even really notice because it's so tiny, but we're going to do it at this new project that we have up in Groveland for this family who's building a brand new build. And we're doing this wall washer with these tiny little guys, and it's poured into the foundation.
To find out more information, head to aroundthehouseonline.com. Don't change that dial. Around the House will be right back after these important messages.
Should I be allowed to be so hot? So many people with...
Hey, it's Eric G from the Around the House show. Elevate your grilling game with the all-new Monty McGrill's Omni Pro series. The Eminescence 405 is packed with cutting-edge features, blending elegance with expert-level performance. 4 powerful burners plus a side-searing station deliver 60,000 BTUs of precision heat. The Clearview lid lets you keep an eye on your masterpiece without losing heat. Stay in control with the smart Bluetooth app, track your temps, set timers, and get alerts from anywhere. The LED touch panel ensures effortless monitoring, even in bright daylight. Temperature sensing lights keep you grilling anytime, anywhere. This grill is built to last, and it's also backed by a 10-year limited warranty. The Eminescence 405, where power, style, and innovation meet. Check it out and order your new grill at montymcgrills.com. That's montymcgrills.com. Are you ready for a deep dive into the future of home building? Hey, it's Eric G from Around the House. We sit down with Champion Homes to tackle some of the biggest challenges in housing today. From affordability to healthier living spaces, they reveal how factory-built homes are revolutionizing the way we live. Find out how Champion Homes is making homeownership more accessible and solving housing problems one home at a time. Don't miss this must-listen episode. Tune into your favorite podcast app or visit aroundthehouseonline.com. To find out more about how Champion Homes is changing housing, visit them at championhomes.com.
Check out episode 1946 on your favorite podcast player.
Welcome back to the Around the House show, the next generation of home improvement. Thanks for joining me today. This hour is brought to you by our friends at Monty McGrills. Check them out at montymcgrills.com. Now let's get back to my friend Wendy Glaister from Wendy Glaister Interiors. We're talking lighting inside your home.
And you don't even really notice because it's so tiny, but we're going to do it at this new project that we have up in Groveland for this family who's building a brand new build. And we're doing this wall washer with these tiny little guys, and it's poured into the foundation. And we're so excited because it's starting at the outside of the house on this rock wall and going into the house. We're bringing that rock all the way through. So it's just going to be like, and it's up by this airplane hangar. So it has a little nod to that too.
Yeah. Yeah, a little runway lighting.
It's so sexy and cool.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Okay, that's next level. That is next level. That is cool.
I'll get you the information on it because I think you would love it.
Send it over.
Yeah.
Send it over.
Really
that is solid right there. Yeah. And it's lighting's great. I really got into it probably 20 years ago when I was doing kitchen and bath design. Kitchens were big. And unfortunately, back then when I first started, it was the fluorescent tubes under the cabinets.
Underneath with the little switch.
Hated them.
Yeah.
But then as soon as the halogens came out, I went into those. But those caused problems.
They're so hot. Fires.
I'd always have to ask where they put their butter. Because that happened one time. They put their butter on the butter dish inside, and she moved into her kitchen. The next day, I got a problem. What? I have a stick of butter on my countertop now because it melted the butter, came out of the cabinets, and went down because it was warm enough to turn that into liquid inside the cabinet. And it was like, all right, that's a problem.
Or if you have like a messy person and they stack a bunch of papers on their counter underneath the halogen light, you can smell like, it smells a little warm.
Yeah. And I've had hoarders like that I've done projects with that you had to take that into account.
Yeah,
I've
agreed.
had those where they come in and they want to do a new kitchen or a new bathroom, and I walk in and I'm 6 foot, so there's 5 foot high of stuff stacked in the house, and there's a single track going through the house, and I had to have that hard conversation going, yeah, we can do the bathrooms. And she just wanted countertops and vanities, something simple in there, but I'm like, you need to give me 4 feet right here. But she was also a unicorn because she invited me to come back and do the cabinets or countertops in her kitchen the next year. And when I was doing the first project, she said, oh yeah, I'm retiring here in 2 months and I'm going to get this house in order. And in my head, I've never seen that actually be successful without professional help. And I understand this is a disease. And I just went, oh, awesome. That'd be really cool. I'd be happy for you. And I came back and it was down maybe 12 inches high and I could see around and I'm like, you're 70% there. Awesome. Yeah. I felt good for her. I was like, oh, she's getting herself dialed in. That's awesome. It's so rare to see because everybody has dreams, but you come out into those and I'm like, ooh, I don't know how we're going to do this. And what's funny is the sense of unreality. They'd be like, hey, I'm not into germs. Can you take your shoes off when you come in? And I'd go, Joe won't let me do that. I've got to have protective footwear in here. Okay.
Yeah. It's
those are
hard.
Sad. Yeah.
You can't design someone healthy. And that took me a really long time to learn as a designer. And it's tricky. That's a tricky thing. We could have a different show on that.
Yeah. Side mark for me, and we'll go back to lighting here in a second, but little sidebar on that. Mm-hmm. I knew if I didn't say no to 2 or 3 clients a year, I wasn't being picky enough. And I wrote them down. I kept numbers on my whiteboard in my office for the year because usually that means I'm taking a project on. If I was into November and I only had 1 up there, I was rethinking things going, that should have been number 2. And it's maybe because here's the thing. We're all human. Personalities sometimes don't work.
Correct.
And I always took my job as a designer was to make sure that I found those times before that it wasn't going to work. And I've handed cabinet projects off to other companies. And then they called me back up a year later and went, don't send me referrals like that anymore. I just got 9 months out of a lawsuit with them because they were hard to work with. Oh, and I went, I had no idea. I just knew they weren't a good fit for me.
Yeah.
But they're like, whoo. I'm like, maybe you need to be more picky. I was trying to help you. But, when you can smell those, it's always good to move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
But lighting is one of those things that, every builder basic house out there, and it doesn't matter if it's entry level in a price point or a $1.5–2 million builder basic place, which what I would call in some instances on the West Coast to be a mid-range house. Lighting is usually horrible, and it was done by somebody in the office, or the electrician went, that'll be good enough. And it was based upon the price point of the light fixture and not about the overall design.
Yeah, I honestly don't think that you will see a lot of thoughtful lighting design unless you invite a lighting designer to the project, because it's just not something that people really assign value to yet.
Nobody's trained.
But when they do get it and they do understand, their project is so much more beautiful. So right now, even when I have a discovery call with a client and I know it's a new build or it's a gut job remodel, I say, I really highly recommend that you hire Carrie to work with me and that we collaborate with it as a team with the electrician so that when we are done, your home is really well lit. And by that, I mean, there's drama where there needs to, there's task lighting where there needs to be. You use light fixtures more as sculpture now than as a light source. There's just so many things to know. And is the switching programmable? Are the outlets programmable? Are you doing Control 4? Are you doing a Lutron system? Are you doing Legrand and Adorn and all those different things? It's not the builder basic fan with 4 cans on a light switch with a remote anymore. It's just not if it's high-end design. Because
great example in my neighborhood. Okay, so I could buy around here an entry-level home for $575,000, $600,000. Little ranch.
Sure. That's
what it is. There are builders in my neighborhood that I've walked through homes that are building custom-ish houses for $2 million. And if I walk through those, there's not a dimmer in the entire house. That's my warning sign.
Every switch is a dimmer on my property.
That's a warning sign to me that
Yeah.
Lighting, you don't care about.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's
to
all about the
explain to
dollars.
people.
Yeah.
The value is, and honestly, I've been very fortunate. Our ASID chapter here locally, we've won 4 years in a row for multiple projects,
Nice.
but all of them included Carrie except for one.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And I'll tell any of my clients, yes, that's a beautiful project. And yes, I'm very grateful. And everyone on that project was very gifted, but it shows up the way it does because of Carrie. So like, for example, we did this 2-story house in Ripon, California. It's a darling community. It's worth the investment that they did on this gut job remodel because homes there sell for so much more. They're a huge value. We wanted something special on the staircase. So we were just chit-chatting one day, Carrie and me in her office, because we love to go in there and shut the door and just go to town on these fun ideas.
Yeah.
And I said, what if we lighted each tread underneath? Instead
I did
of,
that on my
little
stairs.
Pucks on the whole.
I did under tread lighting on my stairs in my house with strip lighting. And
it's so pretty.
Sexy.
And you turn it on and oh my gosh, incredible. And
mine is on 24/7. It is always on. It's on in the day. So I've used the switch for it, the little remote that I have for it. I've used it maybe twice.
Yeah.
And it's always on. It's the best nightlight. During the day when you've got it adjusted, it just looks gorgeous.
Yes.
In the middle of the night, going downstairs, it's so easy. It's, again, like a runway light coming in. It's, here's your stairs.
To find out more about us, head to aroundthehouseonline.com. Don't change that dial. Around the House will be right back with more lighting secrets from Wendy Glaister. We will be right back.
It's all that keeps us breathing. If I could dream.
Is your website losing you money instead of making it? Slow load times, outdated design, or a clunky mobile experience could be driving those customers away. At SiteHypeDesigns.com, we turn bad websites into high-performing, customer-winning machines. Our expert designers create sleek, fast, and SEO-optimized sites that don't just look good, they convert visitors into paying customers. Don't let a weak website hold you back. Visit SiteHypeDesigns.com today for a free website audit and discover how we can take your business to the next level. SiteHypeDesigns.com, websites that work as hard as you do.
For our Around the House listeners, use promo code ERICG for a free website audit and a free half-hour consultation call. Attention, Around the House fans. We've got some exciting news. Our website just got a major upgrade thanks to the pros at SiteHypeDesigns.com. Now, it's easier than ever to catch up on episodes, find expert home improvement tips, and connect with us. Head over to AroundTheHouseOnline.com and check out the fresh new look. It's your ultimate home for everything around the house. AroundTheHouseOnline.com, built for homeowners, designed for you.
Welcome back to the Around the House Show, the next generation of home improvement. Thanks for joining me today. This hour is brought to you by our friends at Monty McGrills. Check them out at montymcgrills.com. Now let's get back to my friend Wendy Glaister from Wendy Glaister Interiors. We're talking lighting inside your home. I've used the switch for it, the little remote that I have for it. I've used it maybe twice.
Yeah.
And it's always on. It's the best nightlight. During the day when you've got it adjusted, it just looks gorgeous.
Yes.
In the middle of the night, going downstairs, it's so easy. It's, again, like a runway light coming in. It's, here's your stairs,
But beautiful. When
Yeah.
you don't see, and it's really great because as designers, we get to know like our teams and our buddies and the people who are more willing to try something new. So we worked with our flooring guys at Wallace to figure out what kind of reveal do we need and how deep does that stair tread have to be? And what is the rises code, obviously, but all those little parts and pieces and how are we going to wire all that? And then when clients have the objection, what happens when this burns out?
Easy.
If you get LED light from Lowe's. That's one thing.
That's
if
one
you get
thing.
LED light from a high-end lighting showroom, that's another thing. And I'm running into that too with a lot of the commercial work that we're doing because we're using lighting as art itself. So again, with Carrie's help, I can't do this by myself. we're running light that just floats across a hallway and then turns and goes at an angle down the wall. And it's wonderful because what it does is it takes your eye back and forth down a hallway. So this is in a dental office.
Nice.
And it's been shown that when you're anxious, if you just have to see one long hall uninterrupted, it ratchets up your anxiety. If your eye experiences it as you move down the hall, it takes it back down. So that light installation going back and forth and across the hall and the whole, and it was just incredible and so much fun. Who knew you could play with light? That's just the new frontier, right? It's so exciting. Yeah,
it is. Great example. And I want to touch on this because that way people really know how important this is. What you said there is so important about lighting. If you go into your retail location, your big box store, great example. I have nice light fixtures in my master bathroom. In 4 years, I'm on my third set of name brand LED bulbs. And I'll use the word Sylvania. Third set. Now, my lights who have been in my kitchen for another year and a half or 2 years, which are from the lighting store, no issues whatsoever.
Nora?
Actually, it is. How did you guess?
Because I have a really good friend named Carrie Arnold, who's a lighting designer, and has taught me all these great things.
I have Nora. Exactly.
Yeah.
I have Nora. I have Nora 3-inch boxes in there. They're big boxes that go up in with the little light, and you can change out when you put them in. It comes with a bunch of the different lenses to how you want the light shaped.
So like that filter that does this cool thing, and it has that little switch, and you can go from 2,700 to 3,000 to 4,000 for the color temperature. So for people who don't know,
I'm big on tuning in my color temps. Oh, yeah.
So 2,700 is probably the easiest to live around.
That's your incandescent light bulb, right?
Yeah. 3,000 gives you more if you need to, more for task or specialty things around the house. And in my office and our studio, we have 4,000 because it's absolutely clean. So that way, when we're doing color selections and we're choosing materials, we are absolutely certain that grout color is going to work with that tile because
you're not adding color from the light, right?
Figure out the color temperature of the lighting so that it would be accurate because, oh my gosh. As an interior designer, if I'm not picking the right colors, I have no job.
So let me tell you something that's interesting.
Important.
Here's a trick that I learned from my years of doing TV. There is an app that you can put on the phone, on your phone, called the Light Meter, and it tells you the color temperature of the room. And you can see. And what's cool is if you walk into a room and turn the lights off and there's a lot of glass, now you can see how the window glass, maybe the UV coating or whatever is doing that. So if you want to add to that and change with that of daylight, you can actually put lights in that don't fight that color temperature. They'll be on the same plane and that same. So you're not dragging that another way or having them be two different colors. So you can walk into the room and go, wow, this is a 3,400 Kelvin color in here with no lights on.
Whoa.
UV coating or the trees or whatever, or reflection off the water or whatever it is that has bent the light a little bit. You can walk in and go, boom, that's what it is. And now I'm going to see if I can get that close.
Wow. Very cool.
So that's one of my little tricks that I got into the weeds on.
I need to do, that's cool.
You know what I mean? So that way you don't have a 32 and a 4 fighting each other in the same room because it doesn't feel right.
Plus, if you have a beautiful project that you've just finished designing and you have a photographer come in, and we always take them with the lights off and with all of them on. Yep. And when they fight, it's embarrassing because there's pink over here and yellow over here and clean white over here. And it looks like garbage. It does.
So anyway, that's my little trick to when you have a lot of sunlight in there, because I've noticed that I've seen where the windows can really change that depending on what the coating is or even what the reflection off a lake or ocean can do.
Or even trees in the backyard. There's probably a lot of green in here right now.
Right?
Yeah.
So it'll tweak that a little bit. So it's a good little trick that I do.
Super clever.
It's a free app on your phone. Come on.
I gotta do that.
I have the tool.
Sorry. Level up, Wendy. Come on.
There we go. I have a goal every episode. I'm going to give you one more little thing.
I love it. That's great. I'm grateful. I'll take it. Thank
we
you.
all will. It's just, cool. Another tool in the toolbox, right?
Yes, for sure.
But it's so fun especially when you get into with lighting design, people that have art or even exteriors are so much fun. I geek out on exterior lighting because you can do amazing stuff. And no, I'm not talking about walking down your home center and buying the plastic stuff off of that. I'm talking go buy your lighting store and get the stuff that's anodized aluminum or stainless that's got a coating on it or whatever you're trying to do that you'll put in, and 10 years later, you'll forget that you did, other than keeping them clean, you had something to do to these things.
Agreed. Yeah. This year we won an award for Best Outdoor Space and Specialty Kitchen for the NKBA Awards at KBIS. And
nice.
Again, Carrie was a big part of that because she helped me light up the interior of the pergola. And then we had these beautiful pavers, limestone pavers in the backyard. And that's really not fair. She shot a beam of light this way, and then on the next paver, it went that way. And then
you're just weaving it.
So beautiful. And then
that's cool.
The light fixtures that we used out there were much more about a sculptural interest piece than it was about lighting anything, because she had done it all without being able to actually see anything. And I think that's a really fun part of a lot of the work that we're doing now, just like recessing or bringing the ceiling down to leave a tiny recess to put in the lighting. Like we did that around this big steam shower recently, or the mundane LED linear lighting where we had this huge window over a sink vanity in a master bath. And we wanted to have a beautiful mirror too. So we did a custom mirror that was suspended from the ceiling joist, but there was no opportunity for a light there, right? We did this whole mudded in beautiful LED frame on the window. My gosh, it was so much fun. And even like lighting up. I'm sorry, you can tell I geek out. I'm just going on and on.
Yeah, no.
Like that channel around, we had this beautiful dimensional marble tile around this fireplace at the mantelpiece. And so we did our same little trick like we did on the stairs. And so that whole thing, you can see it do this.
Yeah. I did this with I built a wine rack in my dining room. It's kitchen, dining room, or one room. And so holds 85 bottles. And it's the post style where you can stack like 3 bottles on there.
Pretty.
And so what I did is I made it out of plywood that I painted the same color as the wall. And I made it 1.5 inches thick. And then I stood it off the wall 3/4. And I routed out the back so I could put my LED type lighting in the back of that and bounced it back off the wall this way. So I've got this really floating wine rack that is backlit around all 4 sides. That's backlit like a backlit mirror.
Very cool.
Money. And then I've got front lighting because I did a Buster and Punch LED hanging fixture there, the wagon wheel kind of looking one that hangs down. Yeah. And that's hitting the front of that. And it just turned out really cool in the contemporary.
Oh my gosh, that's very cool.
Turned out really fun, but
to find out more about us, head to aroundthehouseonline.com. Don't change that dial. Around the House will be right back with more lighting secrets from Wendy Glaister. We will be right back.
Hey, it's Eric G. with Around the House. Are you looking to grow your business? Need a spokesperson for your company? Maybe an MC for an upcoming trade show? Or maybe you want to up your game and shoot some promotional videos? My team of experts would love to chat with you. Head to aroundthehouseonline.com and fill out the Contact Us form, and we'll set something up. Thanks for listening to Around the House. Hey guys, it's Eric G, and I have a special offer for you. Do you want to get the podcast a couple days early? How about extended content that isn't in the typical podcast? Maybe you want to check out all the back episodes of the show. And I got a special deal for the first 10 days are free. I want to personally invite you to be an Around the House insider. For about $4 a month, you can get exclusive extended episodes, early access to the weekend show, and exclusive access to me, Eric G, for project questions or comments. Check on the link on your podcast player in the show notes, or head to aroundthehouseonline.com and look for the join here button. Make sure and sign up today. As always, thanks for tuning in to Around the House. Welcome back to the Around the House Show, the next generation of home improvement. Thanks for joining me today. This hour is brought to you by our friends at Monty McGrills. Check them out at montymcgrills.com. Now let's get back to my friend Wendy Glaister from Wendy Glaister Interiors. We're talking lighting inside your home.
Know that? I thought it was like isn't this funny little joke on Wendy?
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Serious?
Nice discotheque. Nice discotheque.
Excuse me. So that was a good lesson in reading the room better.
Yeah, we've all had those where I'm like, oh, you were serious. You know, one other thing I always do, and it's a habit of mine, and it's just on function. I usually will overlight the room by 20 or 30%.
You know,
okay, they need to be here, but I will go well above that. So if somebody loses an earring, if something gets dropped, if you're cleaning, you can go, bam, I want to see everything.
Yeah.
You can always jack it up. Okay, where'd that go? And then real life is down here, but there's a ceiling above it. So we can sit there and crank it up for those instances. And I always tell people, I'm like, every room needs to be dimmed and it's designed for that way. Don't ever just go all the way unless you have a specific task for that. But that's not what this is meant for.
Agreed.
Which that was my trick that I always did. And I've seen other lighting designers do that as well. But it's nice to have that upper ceiling.
Yeah, when you need it's nice to have, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard about like how men and women experience lighting differently? Or blue eyes versus brown eyes experience it differently?
Totally. Yeah. And then, of course, age goes with that as well on the other direction, too. Somebody that's 25 versus 55.
Yeah, that's the truth. Not that I know what end of life.
No. Hold on. Let me grab my glasses. Yeah.
So my husband has dark eyes and has olive skin and dark curly hair. He's handsome. And I am very blonde and very pale, and I have blue eyes. Every morning, he gets up at 5:15 and comes down here in the kitchen. I'm looking at my kitchen, and he turns on every blessed light. And I always come down to give him a hug, and we pray together, and I say goodbye, and I send him off to work, and I have my coffee. And every time I go behind him and turn all like, what? And he's, let there be light. And I'm like, no, Mark, you're like, this is too much for this time of the day. But it's the man-woman difference and the light-dark difference. And more that's being written about. But I appreciate it because he used to think I was just being a pill. But now, from all the little Instagram things I've sent him, he's
scientific facts out there now that support your argument. I'm the same guy. I've got a system in there, touch screen on that when I come in. And if I hit it diagonal, it cranks the kitchen lights up in the morning.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. I walk down there and I'm like half awake, just going for the coffee cup. And I go swipe up and it's boom, we're in cleaning mode. I'm doing what I tell my clients not to do. But I'm not going to sit there and go kitchen, ceiling. I just know if I do that, it'll kick the kitchen lights on. It's the one program gesture I have in it. And it comes on and I don't care who's over at their house. They're coming, wow, Eric, that's a little harsh.
Yep.
Yeah, it worked. It got me to the coffee maker.
That's the thing. I think Mark needs, I'm waking up and I'm like, let me just get a minute.
Yeah, you're like, we're starting at candlelight and working from here. And I'm turning the stage lights on. I'm like you're in the middle of a movie and you hear that chunk, chunk, like a gymnasium light. I'm that guy going, let there be light. So
so note to all designers, think about eye color and morning routines when you're lighting the kitchen.
And that's the thing. And here's the cool thing, guys, is for any of our homeowners out there or even contractors that DIY that stuff, and I mean, it's DIY because you're not a lighting designer. It still is. But I just recommend to run down to your local independent lighting store, make your new best friend, and spend the time. And if you have to pay them a couple grand to come out and do it, you will get that tenfold in the livability of your home.
Agreed. I appreciate that you said that too about your local retailer, because just watching Carrie and her family run that store and trying to stay alive in the age of the internet and online, people shop them all the time. And by that, I mean their retail
jump on
price,
Amazon and go, that's $400 and I can buy it for $22. Yeah.
Yes, maybe you can, but it will come in 100,000 pieces that you have to figure out how to put together correctly. And if anything is wrong with it, there will be no one for you to call and there will be no way for you to figure it out or troubleshoot. But if you go see Carrie or another family-owned small retailer who really understands lighting in whatever area you live in, you're giving jobs to the people in that area. You can't work at a lighting store and not understand lighting. So it's not like flipping a hamburger. You're not talking about a minimum wage job. You're talking about lighting professionals who have devoted years to the craft to understand it, to know the lines, to understand the best things for the best places and the best effect and the right switches. This is not child's play. Anybody can do it. And I think it's heartbreaking for me to see how our opportunities as people living in homes today, if these stores are not supported and aren't taken care of, our experience in our homes will be much lesser experience than if we support these incredible craftspeople and artists and frankly, mathematicians who live in our communities and have these beautiful stores and this incredible service. And it's a difficult thing to try to educate someone about. No, that lighting that you're getting from Lowe's is going to fail. The lighting that you're going to get the Nora from Carrie and Phillips Lighting and Home is not. And if it does, she will call and get you a replacement because she has a relationship with the manufacturer. And it's just, I guess I'm passionate about it. But like, I wasn't kidding when I said we've won all these great design awards. But honestly, Carrie was on all of those jobs. That is not a coincidence.
And these lighting designers are the people that show the electricians how to light the room. The electricians are, no shade towards you electricians out there. You're the scientists that make sure the power goes to the right place and it meets code.
That's great. But
that's awesome. You are an integral part of this process. The lighting designer is as well.
Yeah. That Yahoo who put 28 cans in a recess in a family room is not a lighting designer.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. We have some of the neatest relationships now because Carrie has two things. She's a woman and she's a lighting designer. And an electrician, a standard old school electrician, doesn't care about a lighting designer and sure as heck doesn't care about a woman. So it's interesting to have Carrie come in there and say what she says. And then later the electrician will be on site with me for a job walk. And usually it's a he will say, I don't know. And I look at the contractor and I say, if Carrie's plan is not executed in this home exactly as she intended, we will have a problem.
Yep.
And then I leave. And then it's amazing because that electrician is so much nicer when he comes back because he did it the way Carrie asked, gorgeous, and he learned a lot. And then he starts using all the vocabulary that she uses and starts to have some of her technique.
And that's the one fun thing too, is that when I look at this is one thing it's refreshing up here in the Pacific Northwest. I'm seeing more and more female electricians on the job site.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. And I think some of that is because we have such heavy electrical places up here because we have like in the Portland metro area, there's thousands of electricians that work for Intel.
Yeah.
And we're on the chip manufacturing. They're always tweaking stuff around. And I know of a lot of female electricians that worked out there at some point. And then at some point they're like, oh, I'm going to go into remodeling or whatever. And they go off and do their own thing. But it's refreshing to see that. And it's really changing the minds of job sites like that as well. So it's just super fun.
And it's in the collaboration.
That's what I mean. I don't care if it's a tile installer.
Exactly.
The framer, whoever it is. When I hear I've been doing it this way for 30 years, and then I start back with my fighting words and go, what's it feel like doing it wrong for 30 years? They don't really like my answer.
Just kind of smile and nod and think, this might not be a good fit. But I'm back
sometimes. What's it like doing it wrong for 30 years? I'd feel horrible about it. Usually not that abrasive.
When you
I just call it a spade sometimes.
That's cool. Good for you.
You got to. We're running out of time here. There's so much we could talk about lighting, but I think just for people to think, my takeaways on lighting is hire the professional designer to help you with that. Make sure everything you can dim, give yourself the most control about it.
Agreed.
And what you pay for fixtures is like your dishwasher. The better stuff costs more money, and the reason why.
Yes. Cry once.
Yes.
Rather than 3 times for your vanity light bulbs.
Yeah, exactly. It's the stuff you learn. And yes, and the reason why that bugs me is one over my vanity is out this morning. And I'm like, hey.
It's a fresh wound.
It is. It is a fresh wound. It just is. Wendy, how do people find you since you're doing projects all across the country and you're waiting for your first to buy client? to fly you out there? How do people find you?
You can find me at wendyglaister.com, and Glaister is spelled Glaister. And you can find me the same on Instagram, Wendy Glaister Interiors, and follow all our little adventures. And hopefully you'll find me again on this podcast with my friend Eric again soon.
All right, Wendy, thanks so much. We always have a great time. I look down and go, where did the time go?
I know, it's really fun. Thank you so much.
All right, Wendy, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm Eric G. You've been listening to Around the House. Are you a contractor, landscaper, or small business owner? Are you tired of renting or pulling that worn-out trailer to the job site? Is that really the best look for your company? It's time to up your game and check out the trailers from Summit Trailer. If you want the highest quality trailer you can own, they are proudly made right here in Oregon with a dealer network all along the West Coast. What I love about my Summit Trailer is that it's a dump trailer that was designed to work. I can load it up without having to worry about if it's going to be able to lift the load, and it pulls like a dream. This was built to work. So it doesn't matter if you want a dump trailer like mine or a deck over flatbed, tilt bed, or utility trailer. They got a trailer that'll fit your needs. Invest in your business with something you'll feel proud of, pulling up to any job site or your next project. Check out the best trailer in the West at summittrailermfg.com. Check out the dealer locator and find your nearest dealer at summittrailermfg.com.